Okay, welcome to the new day, guys. I think, and honestly, today feels like one of the biggest backend milestones so far. Because until now, we have created routes, schemas, database models, and connected Gemini API. But today, we will finally connect everything together into a one complete workflow. So now the backend can receive a resume, validation request, and send it to the Gemini. Save the result into the database and return the final response back to the front end. Now we have completed our Gemini services.py file, and I have written analysis.py code which we going to run today, and I'll explain it along. First, I would like to say that we have imported our all files which are required, and then we have created our DB session basically. So what this definition get dot DB functions do? This function is basically responsible for temporarily opening a connection to the database. And this session local, what this does is this create a database session, and you can think of a temporary connection between the database. And then there is an important let's say a keyword that I learned today, that is an build, which is basically hand this database session that we have created over to the root function. So FastAPI temporarily give the root access to the database, and then what we'll do is we'll close the connection. And basically this finally block then extremely important, because after the request is finished, the database connection get closed automatically, which prevent basically memory leaks and unnecessary open connections. Then this is the kind of backend engineering detail I never noticed before learning APIs. Now what we'll do is that we have already done. We have created router post method, and we have give our path and the parameter. This basically creates an post endpoint, and it is responsible. Basically, response model is very powerful FastAPI feature. Let me explain the function first. This function basically receive two things. First, validation request, and second is automatically injected database session using depends. So what is this depends? Basically, it is an one type of dependency injection that is provided by our SQLAlchemy, which basically provides some methods automatically. And this dependency injection system basically it is very helpful. Now let's move to the step one. What we'll do is we'll type AI call. So I have created a basic variable AI result, and then used a method get AI analysis. Now what does this do? This basically wake up the Gemini AI service. What will send? The resume and the job description. And what Gemini returns? Math score, missing skills, and our AI feedback. So next, what we'll do is that actually I am realizing while working with AI is that we should never blindly trust external APIs. So before continuing, we first check if the AI failed. So currently I am using my own API for now. So let's say in future that might happen. So what we'll do is we'll first check if the AI is failed. So for that, what we'll do is I have created a if loop basically. Condition statement. What will check if Gemini returns an invalid response or it crashes, then what we'll do is we'll raise an exception, HTTP exception basically, instead of allowing the backend to fail silently. So at least we know what is going wrong. So for that I have created this a condition, and then what we'll do is we'll open our db record condition. Now if everyone works correctly, we'll prepare the database object. So here you can see we have created the object. This created basically a SQLAlchemy object using the user input or user request and the AI generated result. But the important thing here to remember or notice that this point nothing is saved. Okay, this object only exists temporarily in our memory. Now comes the actual database operation. What we'll do is we'll add our db record, then we'll hit commit. Okay, so first what add does is this still SQLAlchemy basically track this new record, then we'll commit. The commit is basically what permanently save the data into SQLite. Without commit, the data would disappear after the request finish. Okay, so db.commit is very important. Then what we'll do is we'll use one more command, db.refresh. So basically it refresh or reloads the update record from the database. This is important because SQLite automatically generate the ID value as we have seen before. So refresh pulls the latest value back into the Python. Now what we'll do is we'll return our db record, and that's how basically we return the saved database record back to the front. And because we have configured Pydantic correct earlier, so FastAPI automatically convert the SQLAlchemy object into the clean JSON. So this is the first moment where the backend finally feels like an AI application, because now the complete workflow is connected. Now we'll see all the things are running properly first. So what we'll do is we'll open our terminal. Let's run the project. Okay. We'll post a simple. As of now, we are using SQLite, so I don't have any database for now. So what our API does. Okay, as you can see here, our API and our Gemini services is just fine. Here you can see our matching score is generated by AI now, not the previous where we have given a score, and we have given our feedback. For now, missile skilling is showing null. The candidate has foundational Python experience but critically lacks the specific FastAPI and PostgreSQL expertise required for the senior developer position. Without these key technologies, the profile is not as strong. So as you can see now, we have generated all the things using our AI feature. So I think that it's a win for us for now. And as you know, we have corrected a lot of things today. What we have done is we have created request validation, we have implemented AI analysis, database storage, and response handling. So our project will now get even better from here. So follow for more. And since I'm learning publicly, if you have any better approaches, suggestions, or correction, do let me know in the comment. And so let's continue this journey further.